Hello, friends. So a lot of people are talking about the Rings of Power because it's one of the biggest shows to have ever been made, and it's a big part now of the Tolkien cinematic universe, and it's something that should be talked about because Tolkien is huge, and because it's actually a very well-made show, and because as Tolkien hardcore Tolkien fans will tell you, it does depart a lot from Tolkien lore. So I understand, if big Tolkien fans hate the show, I can totally understand that. I don't think they're being significantly unreasonable because they really like Tolkien, and we have all this lore, and they're really departing from the lore. Like myself, though, I'm not a huge Tolkien fan in the sense that I like Tolkien. I definitely do. I've read Lord of the Rings. I've read the Lays of Beleriand, which I like very much. I have not. I never finished the Silmarillion. I don't know how many people are out there are like that who have read the Lays of Beleriand but have never finished Silmarillion. Anyway, so I like Tolkien, but I'm not as huge of a fan of him as a lot of people are, and I don't care as much about staying true to the source material because I don't know the source material as well as some others. So I'm enjoying the show, but I understand why some people dislike it, and that's fine. But I want to talk about one question regarding the show, and that is the question of whether the stranger, the guy that fell from the sky, or Halbrand could be Sauron. I want to talk about that. So first, the stranger. Okay, so I don't think the stranger is Sauron. I don't think that works at all. I think, for example, you have these three people chasing him who are clearly evil. That's why they went out of their way to show them being mean to the Harfoots, that they're clearly evil and they seem to want to do him harm. Maybe they're just trying to find their master and remind him of who he is and all this stuff. That's a possibility. I don't think that that's where they're going with the story. I think that they want to do him harm because they see him as a threat to their master, who is Sauron. It's also clear that the stranger is an incarnated star, because that's what the wizards are in Tolkien. Their race is called the Istari. It's literally written I star I. They're incarnated stars, and he fell from the sky, and he seems very concerned about the stars. He's trying to find a specific constellation and everything. So I think it's pretty clear that he is an incarnated star. He is intended to be a wizard, like Gandalf and Sauron and Radagast. Now, Tolkien fans will say, no, that can't be because there aren't supposed to be wizards yet. They're supposed to come later. And what I say to that is that makes total sense. But as you probably have realized, the writers of this show aren't that concerned with staying true to the source material. So the fact that wizards don't come until later, I don't think that's really something that they care about. I think that they just kind of ignored that, and that this guy, I actually think he's Gandalf. I think he's straight up Gandalf because his whole persona really fits the cinematic persona that has already been established for Gandalf. He just seems like the same character, just kind of in an infant state. He could be Saruman. He could be one of the blue wizards. I don't think he's Radagast because I just don't. Like I said, he fits the persona of Gandalf. I don't think he fits the persona of Radagast at all. So yeah, I don't think that the stranger is Sauron. He is probably a wizard. So Halbrand. At first, my wife was watching with me, and she started saying that he was Sauron, and I said, no, I don't think they're going to do that. Because Sauron, by this point, of course, is supposed... I may be wrong in my memory here, but I think that Sauron had died in a flood, but his spirit was still active, and then he was able to get his followers to create the Lord of the Rings, the ring, and he used that to create a new body, and that's the one that you see in the beginning of Fellowship of the Ring. But the thing is that, as I said, these writers aren't that concerned with sticking to the source material, so it may be that they just have Sauron continuing to exist as a man, and that's that. One thing about Halbrand, though, is that he is a master smith. They specifically show that he is a skilled smith. And that is one of the characteristics of Sauron. He is someone who was a skilled smith. And I think that was not a parallel that just sort of happened. They did that on purpose. I think that, and then you have the whole thing about him expecting Adar to recognize him. He asks him twice if he recognizes him. And it doesn't seem like oh, you killed my whole family while I watched. Don't you remember me? No, it's more like, hey, we're in the same organization. Don't you remember me? That kind of a thing. It really does seem that even if he's not Sauron, he was probably involved in Sauron's organization or whatever you want to call it. He probably was one of Sauron's henchmen. So I think that there is a very good chance that he is Sauron. I actually don't like that. I think there would be a very bad writing decision. As far as the stranger being Gandalf, even though it's too early, I don't think that's such a bad writing decision. I think that's fine for the show. But to make Halbrand Sauron, I don't like that so much. I think that's kind of dumb. I hope that's not the case. I really do. And I think if he's not Sauron, he's probably going to end up being one of either the Witch King or one of the other ring wraiths. That's probably what's going to happen. He's going to become a lord a king of a land, or he already is technically. He's going to become a king, and he's going to become powerful and influential, and he's going to get one of the rings, and he's going to turn into one of the ring wraiths. So tell me what you think. Tell me if you think I'm right, if you think I'm wrong. Comment below, and make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.